All right, guys, you're welcome here. We're making a delicious cake today, but this is sugar free and it's starch free, as I would say, and it's definitely butter free. So combine your eggs here. You're going to find the ingredients in the description box, and then we're adding our sweetener here. This is a delicious sweetener blend. Delicious sweetener blend. I normally get that from Dr. Cook's Whole Foods. I will leave the link in the description as well. All right, so let's add cake batter extract. That is so nice. It makes the whole thing smell exactly like the cake that it is. Now I'm going to be adding some vanilla here. I normally just make my vanilla myself in the house, so that looks like is the last drop in my bottle. Now let's stir this together so that we can dissolve the sweetener here. Stir it together properly and let it dissolve very well. Yes, you want to mix it properly. I am just using some elbow grease here because I love to incorporate exercise into every little thing I do. You don't have to use the hand whisk, guys. If you have the mixer, that would be the best option for you. Don't mind me. I always love to exercise myself with every little tiny opportunity. Now let us sieve the flour. The reason why I am sieving the flour is to make sure if there's any lumps, I want it to break all up. I do not want it to get into the cake and then one part of the cake is very high, fluffy, the other side is heavy. No, I want to make sure that every lump in the flour mix is broken up and it can actually pass through the sieve. However, this is a mixture of almond milk, so if I'm not expecting it all to pass through the sieve, but I would just want to make sure that most of anything that has to do with lumps is broken up here, guys. But sieving your flour is one of the very good ways that you can get your cake really fluffy, because it also helps you to incorporate air into the flour mix. Okay, that's exactly why you see me doing this. If your flour is really smooth, maybe you don't need it, but it's very advisable that you do so. Notice that I'm taking some time to do this because I really want to make sure those white bits you're seeing there, those are my gluten-free baking powder. Okay, so I'm just going to mix all of this together properly just to make sure it's all mixed together. Remember, you can find the mix of that flour in the description below. Okay, let's now whisk it properly and then add the flour mixture into this. I'm going to be incorporating it now, maybe just in 2 or 3 batches. It's just to make it easy for me to mix. Actually, you don't have to do it this way, especially if you were using a hand mixer or you're using a stand mixer. You don't have to be doing, just add it. However, just because I'm using my hand, exercising myself, that's why I am adding it little by little. Can you already see this batter coming together? It's coming together. It's a very nice combination. Okay, so let's stir it properly. I want you to take a notice of what's going to be happening now. You're going to see that this cake batter will thicken up. You see? The reason for that is because there is some coconut flour in the flour mix. And as you know, coconut flour is very high in fiber. That's one of the things that makes me love it, because a high fiber foods, any food that's high in fiber will help to slow down absorption of sugar from that food. However, this hasn't really got sugars added. Even if there were any tiny little sugars from here, the high fiber in that coconut flour will not even let our bodies get it like that. So I've added some of the creamy coconut milk in here, guys. This coconut cream is coconut milk, but can you see, hardly can you find water in this. It's a very good quality one. Sometimes when you buy coconut milk, you just find that it's almost half water. This one is really so high in the cream and it's organic. So try and buy a good quality coconut milk. I love coconut milk. It's rich in coconut oil, and that coconut oil contains some lauric acid. I love coconut. I love coconut. Anything coconut, count me in. Okay, now guys, look at this texture. It's so creamy. Can you see this? It's so creamy. This is what you want to see. This is what you really want to see. Now I love to mix properly because I like when all the elements in the plate or the bowl is properly combined. That way they love each other, they work together as one, they understand themselves, and they achieve their goal together. Guys, look, and I'm really enjoying using my arm to do this. It's exercising my arm for me. It's one of the ways that I can burn some calories ahead of time. Some calories that I'm going to be eating from this cake, I'm burning it ahead of time. Don't even miss any opportunity to exercise, even if it means just dancing in the house. Okay guys, can you see my pan is already prepared? I just used a baking parchment paper or a grease-proof paper, cut it in round circles, and then apply them in the bowl. Okay, so you can actually eyeball it or you can just measure. It's your choice. I don't really mind. This is for me to enjoy, so I'm not really making it for a party. I'm not making it for sale. It's just for me. So I really would not mind if one bowl is bigger than the other. I don't mind. I'm still going to combine them together anyway. However you want to do that, please feel free to do that. Okay, you can let one be bigger if you like. You can let them be very equal. If you can do that, well done. I praise God for you. I am not able to say that I'm going to get the two of them to be very equal. Like I said before, isn't that it's not really a problem, to be frank. Okay, so are you like me? I would like to lick up everything from the plate. Yes, because these ingredients, I don't want to waste any of them. Okay, so let's shake this up properly. You want it to be even at least. That's exactly what I'm doing, putting it together so it can be even. So I just feel this is the fastest way for me. I just shake it. So, and that's also going to really help to level up this cake. You're going to see what happens when we bring out this cake. Voila, look at that. This is done. The first one is done. I've just baked this at 160 degrees for 45 minutes. After 30 minutes, I covered it up with a parchment paper because I didn't want this particular one to be very brown. So in 45 minutes exactly, that cake was well done. Now the second one is really going into the oven to undergo the same process as this first one. How beautiful does that already look? If you don't even want to ice or frost this cake, it's great for tea time. It's great for freezing, and you can actually take it anywhere. Even if you have a party, I've used this recipe to make birthday party cakes, and it's been very good. Why that's cooling down? Because you really need to cool down your cake. I'm going to prepare the frosting that I will be using. Oops, some of it is dropping off. Never mind. So I'm using a double cream. This is like 500 mils. Let me say like 2 cups of heavy cream. Okay, I still want to lick it all up in my bowl. Now, you can actually use coconut milk if you like. I use coconut milk sometimes, but I really actually have this heavy cream in the fridge, which I'm using. I've just added 1/3 cups of sweetener. This sweetener blend is produced by Dr. Cook's Whole Foods UK. It's a delicious blend which I've found to work very well for me, good for my digestive system, and makes all my baked goods turn out beautiful. So I'm adding some, let me say a different mix of flavoring. It depends on how you want your cream to smell or taste. I'm adding tropical mix, lemon, orange, and banana. That's what you saw me put down a little bit of the cake batter extra. If only you know how it smells. Very nice. So after whisking it for some time, I got this delicious creaminess. All right, so I'm going to put this in a cup and put it in the fridge while I'm waiting for the cakes to get ready. Now they are ready, and I want to spread this cake with my frosting. So what I'm doing now is mixing it properly because I just brought it from the fridge and I want it to be spreadable. So when you mix it up, it makes it quite easy for you to spread. Can you see how beautifully creamy that is? And if I tell you, it tastes really delicious too. So I'm just going to be frosting my cake. You don't need any special skill to do this, to be frank, and that's the reason why I am not even going to be using any professional skill here. Yes, quite all right, I do have all the equipment I can use, and I have, you know, before I've done cake for a living. I know how to ice cake beautifully, but I just want you to know that anyone can do this. So I'm not making use of any fancy equipment in this cake making at all. Just spread it the way you like. Remember, it's you who's going to eat this. Just spread it. This is just the layering. I'm going to put the other cake on top of it now. Remember, we made it in 2 batches, in 2 pieces, because I wanted to be able to have some cream in between the cake. That's what I really wanted. Okay, then just layer this one up, and then we're going to start frosting it all around. Okay, so we're using the remaining part of the cream just to frost it all around. Again, you don't need any special skill, guys. All you're doing is just covering it all up. There's no special skill required for this. You just smoothing the cream all over it as you like. However, in artwork, there's no mistake. Whatever it comes out to be, that was your design. Guys, literally. That was your design. Don't worry about all of that. Just be savoring the deliciousness you're about to start experiencing from this beautiful cake. Okay, so let's cover it all up. While we are doing this, guys, I just wanted you to know that, look, it doesn't matter what kind of food you are used to, okay? By the time you start to eat in a different way, one thing that you can do for yourself is to try and experiment in the kitchen. Just make sure that you are adventurous. Don't give up on yourself and begin to starve. Don't give up on yourself and begin to just eat foods that are tasting weird just because you think now you are no longer allowed to eat those foods you used to enjoy. Imagine how decadent this cake is looking already. And to think that this whole food has no sugar added at all. Why shouldn't you be able to enjoy yourself? Why? Guys, there's no reason. There's endless possibilities to what you can do in the kitchen. Sometimes you just need to search out what other people are doing out there. Sometimes you just need to think it through by yourself. You just need to think, what can I do? Sometimes you just need to try. Watch me put design on this cake that doesn't even need design. I just thought, okay, put a little bit of a style. And that's why you see me do that. Guys, it's looking like a design. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so let's try and see if we can smoothen it all around. As beautiful as this cake looks and delicious as it looks, it's without guilt, guys. You also have made it. The sugar mixture or the sugar mix that I have used, which is the sugar-free mix, the sugar replacer by Dr. Cooks. If you want, I'm going to put the link to the website on this description, underneath the description there, or in the description. All right. Let me not cut my tongue. I'm actually trying to say that I'm going to leave the link to the sweetener in the description box below, so that you can purchase the sweetener. It's called the Riviera. It's a blend of erythritol, stevia, and allulose. It tastes so good. It has no aftertaste of any sort, and it doesn't give me, in particular, any digestive disturbances. You can try it if it's going to be good for you if you live in the UK, or you can actually go online and search for any other kind of sweetener that you think you might use. Also, Dr. Cooks also sells a mix of the flour that you just saw me use in this video. If you don't want to bother yourself doing the combination yourself, you can actually buy flour from them. Already made flour. They have different flours for different things. They have one for bread. They have a flour mix for cake. They have a flour mix for waffles and pancakes. They have a flour made for biscuit and various flours. They also sell some other very interesting products such as sugar-free hot chocolate mix, which you can use to drink your cocoa. And what that means is that if you have a cake like this, you can actually take a piece of this and enjoy with some hot chocolate drink in the morning. Who wouldn't want that? I would just want to sleep off after that, guys. Okay, so are you seeing how beautiful this cake is coming out? Or is it just me seeing it? Are you already thinking how delicious this will be? That cream tastes like something else. Delicious. Okay, so instead of us to just leave it blank like this, I always still love to top up with something. This is desiccated coconuts that I'm using to top it all up. After all, there's coconut cream in the cake, so why don't we make it even more coconutty? I love coconuts. And I'm topping now with raspberries. Actually, these were frozen raspberries I'm using frozen raspberries here. You can use any type of fruits of your choice, but I advise you to use fruits. Or if you have sugar-free chocolate chips, it will be a very good thing to pour all over this. Or whatever design that comes to mind, guys. Once you're making this, you too are a designer. Don't have to have any specific title. You can do any style. You can just put it all around, or you can just put it on one side like I'm doing it. It's your design. And however it comes attractive to you, that's the best thing. Remember that these fruits are very low in carbohydrates and are very high in fiber. The color is vibrant, it's delicious, and it's so cold. So when you have it with this cake, I can only imagine how delicious this is going to be. I wish there was a way that I'll make you taste it. But yes, there's a way. You need to make it. Taste it and let me know how this cake tasted. Remember, it's guilt-free. So you're not going to have to, you're not going to stop your children from eating this cake. Let them enjoy this cake. You don't have to worry about sugar. You don't have to worry about having tooth decay. And you don't have to even worry about blood sugar levels at all. That is even the most important of all. Okay, let's just sprinkle the little pieces of the raspberries. Okay, guys, and then I want to top it with some snowflakes of desiccated coconut. Now the next thing is to have a taste of this cake. I'm really inviting you guys. I don't want to be the only one to experience this goodness. Come on, let's enjoy it together. I wish I could actually do that. We can only do that when you make it. Okay, I'm going to be cutting into this cake now. Beautiful, beautiful. So let's see how the texture looks like on the inside. That's very important. That is it. This is it. Does that not look cakey to you? Delicious. Imagine serving this in your party and your guests knowing that this is sugar-free. It's gluten-free. It's starch-free, as I would say. The only sugars or natural sugars you might find in this cake are the little sugars coming from almond and coconut. You agree with me that's nothing to worry about, because this cake will not spike your blood sugar levels at all. It's so nice. This is how I take care of myself every time I take a day off work. I make it, I make delicious, different flavors, and I enjoy myself without guilt. Guys. This way, you're able to keep on eating the right way. Enjoy yourself. Subscribe to my channel, like and share my video. Thanks very much for coming to watch today.